The angels willing to hold us in their arms. When our words of stone are ashes and we both passed on, let forever mean forever and carry on.
Good afternoon. Wow. Has it been a hell of a weekend, and even more so a hell of a day. I think just today alone, I pumped out as much productivity as what I did Saturday and Sunday combined, wouldn't you say? I was, on my feet, 6:30-ish, something like that. And I've been humping it. Wow. Where to even begin? My goodness. My goodness. Let me go ahead and run through the normal stuff because I haven't really been doing that. I'll try to breeze through it as quick as possible, and we'll get into it. A lot of stuff came out today. A lot of stuff came out over the course of the weekend. I've got a lot of information for both those that have been around for a while and those that may be new to joining us. So for some of you that have been around a little bit, bear with me while we go over some information that you've probably heard multiple times. So because it's important and people need to hear it. I've got two big things that I really need to talk about today. Really need to talk about. You're going to know about both of them. One you hear from me fairly often, and the other one, really, because I'm speaking to the choir for the most part, with the exception of any new folks that may be joining us, is common sense. Okay? So it should be just common sense, right? But it has to be said, and I don't think it's going to be applicable to anybody listening within the sound of my voice. But nonetheless, it needs to be said because people need to understand. People need to understand. So let me run through the normal stuff real quick. I'll try to be as brief as I can. Amazon affiliate, we are currently at $44.52. I appreciate everybody that participates in that. It certainly helps out. For those that don't know, in the description of the video, as well as at the watchmannews.com, in the very top right, there's an Amazon affiliate link. That just takes you to Amazon, just regular old Amazon, but it does so with our special link. If you use that link to get to Amazon and then you purchase items, the items don't cost you anything more, but it gives us a little bit of credit for the sale. So a bunch of little bits add up, and it helps support the show. So it's much, much appreciated. We do got a Teespring store. Don't have much there yet, but if you're interested, go to the watchmannews.com. Scroll down on the home page. We got 4 designs right now. It's not just shirts. It's all kinds of different stuff. So if you like a design, I will be adding more in the future whenever I can manage to. Okay. But I will be adding more in the future. I promise. I do. I just won't promise when. Anyway, it's not just shirts. If you see a design you like, you click on it. There's all kinds of different products that Teespring offers with that particular design. So lastly, the other way that you can help out, if you so choose, is our PayPal donate link. That's in the description of the video, as well as in the main menu at thewatchmannews.com. It just takes you to our PayPal donation page. You don't have to have a PayPal account in order to do it. You can do it as a guest with a debit or a credit card, but I always let people know so they're not confused. It will say Transforming Disabilities up top. That is us, but it also says Purpose the Watchman News donation. That way you know you're in the right place. And no, we are not 501c3, nor will we ever be 501c3. Anyway, my goodness. Where do we, it's like, do you start at the beginning of the weekend or do you just start now? First off, let me go over a couple of the things real quick. that I really need to discuss. I really need to get out there. So here's the thing. There is a copy-paste post going around social media, and while I don't remember it for verbatim, and nor am I going to look it up, if you're, especially on Facebook, you've probably seen it by now. It's a post complaining about people hoarding toilet paper and saying that, well, if I go to get toilet paper and there's none on the shelf and I find somebody with more than one package in their cart, I'm taking it. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Okay? Folks, let me let's differentiate, first of all, between a prepper / survivalist and one of those people at Walmart or Sam's or Costco or wherever that have 10 packs of toilet paper in their cart. Okay? Let me explain the difference between the two. With a prepper and or survivalist, you've got a chance of making it, okay? Because we're not afraid. We're going to approach the situation as best we can, and we're going to deal with the situation as best we can. Now, mind you, we are going to deal with the situation, okay? How we deal with that, likely going to be dependent upon how the other person acted. So our reaction is, I hope, going to be equal to, if not a little more, to the action. Okay? I hope. I can't promise that. If you're somebody out there that's got these bright ideas, I can't promise you that. I can only speak to myself. Okay? I cannot promise you that. But let me tell you the difference between a prepper / survivalist and a panic buyer. Okay? And it's right in the title that I just said. Those people that are last minute going and buying up all the hand sanitizer and all the toilet paper and all that stuff, they're doing it because they're scared. The most dangerous person, well, it's an argument as to who's the most dangerous person. Whether it's the person with nothing left to lose, and you can see a relation, by the way, between the two. It's a tie between the person that has nothing left to lose and the person that is in fear. Okay? Because a person that will, in fear, will end you in a heartbeat. They won't think twice about it because they're afraid. Okay? So this is just, I'm hoping to be a public service announcement that if you got this bright idea that you're going to go and take something of someone else's, regardless of whether or not they've been through a checkout or not, you might want to retrace your steps. Okay? You might want to retrace your steps. Because let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that are right now taking extra precautions. Okay? I'm in full gear. I am literally sitting here sweating my ass off in full gear. Okay? It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, I mean, I don't know what to tell people. You know, if you get ready 1 second too late, guess what? It's too late. It's too late. So you got individuals out there that are like-minded that are also on a heightened state of alertness. Okay? So the average individual, let's go on over to them. Even an individual that may not normally, say, conceal carry, and individuals that may not even be able to legally conceal carry, are much more likely to be concealed carrying at this time for their own protection. And right on. Right on. Thank you. Right? Hopefully they've got some training and some rounds shot in that particular piece of metal so that they're a little familiar with it. But nonetheless, right on. You are going to have a lot of people that are in this heightened sense right now. don't stir the hornet's nest. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. And again, it's just a public service announcement. I mean, you got free will. Do what you wish, but understand that there are consequences. And some of those consequences aren't very nice, right? I mean, I even had somebody try to throw idealism at me today, right, when it comes to the hoarding and all of that. And I'm like, because it was on this, because I commented, by the way, this was from me commenting on somebody that posted this, okay? And they came at me with idealism. Well, there's a stark difference between idealism and survivalism, right? And if you try to approach survivalism with idealism, it's not going to turn out too well. Not going to turn out too well. You know, I don't know where this mindset came from, right? But I guarantee you that if there's somebody out there with malice intentions, you're not going to idealism out of it, okay? It's not going to happen. You're not going to sit down with a cup of tea and talk it over and change their ways, okay? Not going to work. And if you choose to try that technique at this time, well, that's on you. That is absolutely 110% on you. But I'm telling you, from every single bit of research, real life research, because, hey, just because we've been pampered in this country, okay, doesn't mean that every single country on this planet has been pampered, okay? There is plenty of data. There is plenty of history that you can go and verify what happens in times like these. It's out there. It's not classified. It's not hard to find. It just takes your effort and time to investigate, to find out. And I'm telling you, the reaction in the United States of America is going to be some fold. I don't know how many fold. I'm not just going to say tenfold. It's going to be multiplied. Okay? The reason why is because of our culture. Okay? That's why. That is why it is going to be worse here. Because of our culture. Because of how long we've been complacent. And because of how much we've been pampered. And I know those words might upset people. Well, I haven't been pampered. I've struggled my entire life. Yeah, so have I. So have I. But you know what? I haven't had to miss too many meals in my life. I haven't had to sleep on many park benches in my life. And I know there's individuals out there that have. And I'm sorry for that. But that is not the norm in this country. That is not the average in this country. So we can't go playing games by numbers and idealism again. We have to go with something called reality. Reality. Okay? There was a campaign, oddly enough, years ago that I tried to get kicked off. It didn't go anywhere, right? Didn't go a damn place, right? And I didn't put much more effort and time into it, but I was calling it the Burst the Bubble campaign, right? And I can remember I was so proud of the image that I did up for the Burst the Bubble campaign, because what it was the background was like an apocalyptic city, right? Just a city laid in ruin. And there was a bubble, right? There's a bubble just floating amongst the ruins. And in that bubble was the image of children on a playground, all happy, all excited. Okay? And I really felt like the image spoke to what I was trying to get out there. Okay? So, unfortunately, our bubble got bursted for us. Okay? My intent when I ran that campaign was to try to get the people to understand just how fragile this society is. Like many of you that are preppers and that have been vocal about it and have been trying to help others get involved into prepping and into doing it themselves and for their loved ones. Many of you understand this. Okay? You get all of this, okay? But for a lot of folks, they don't understand about the just-in-time system, and they don't understand just how fragile our society truly, truly is on every single level, whether it be on a supply level or whether it be on a psychological level. We are extremely fragile, extremely. So, we have to deal with this accordingly. We can't go throwing some idealism at it or something like that and expect, things are going to be different because I said, look, there's a unicorn. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Your idealism, while in good times, you can entertain, okay? But when you're in bad times, you better knock that crap off, okay? It's not gonna fare well, right? Not gonna fare well. So, just my advice: if you you think you might be interested in something of someone else's, whether they're still in the store and haven't checked out or not, you might want to retrace your steps. It may not be a good idea, okay? May not be a good idea. And one more note to add to that, just calm down. Just calm down, okay? If you relax and don't act like an idiot, somebody might make sure that you got what you need, okay? But they damn sure won't if you're acting like an idiot. That I can guarantee you, right? This is going to take decency, patience, humanity, compassion, empathy, things that many in this country haven't used a whole hell of a lot of in a while. We're going to see that turnaround. I do firmly believe that. I do 110% firmly believe that we're going to come out of this a much, much stronger nation. I really do believe that. Firmly. So, anyway, that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, some of you people have heard multiple times, okay? But there could be new folks that haven't been around here, and this is critical. And that is my prepping priority list. Of course, many of you have heard this, okay? This is essential. For those that haven't heard this, please, I implore you, grab a paper and a pen, a piece of paper and a pen, and please write this down, okay? All you got to do is write down the keywords, right? Number 1 through 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All you got to do is write down the single word that I give you for each, well, it's not a single word, it's 2 words, but for each one that I give you, and it will be a reminder. It will be a good note to be able to look back on, and you'll be like, oh, okay, and you'll remember, trust me. So there's a priority list that I had came up with some time back on prepping and the importance of the different parts of prepping, okay? And this isn't going to be the same list that you've heard a million times about how you can, you can live 3 minutes without 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? So anyway, 3 weeks I think without 3 weeks I think without food. And what is the 3 days? I guess shelter. What's the 3 day? I don't. Scratch all that, okay? This is not what this is about. This is a much, 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 in my opinion, more important list, okay? So number 1 is spiritual preparedness. Most important. That's why it's number 1. You have to believe in something bigger than you. I didn't say that it had to be my God. I didn't say that it had to be whatever. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's your own children. I don't care if it's your spouse. Just something that is bigger than you, right? It's important. That is critical. Because when all else fails, you've got that to fall back on. And it will keep you in the game. I guarantee it will keep you in the game. as long as you truly believe in it. Can't be a bullshit belief. You have to truly believe in it. Okay? Number 1, spiritual preparedness. Number 2, mental preparedness. Okay? Folks, if you can't keep it together, nothing else matters. If you can't keep your head in the game, it doesn't matter what items you have, it doesn't matter what knowledge you have, you don't stand a chance. You have to remain calm. You have to remain in control of the situation. And most importantly, you have to remain in control of your own mind. Okay? One of the best methods to be able to do this, and I normally don't bring this up, and believe me, this is not a task that most can achieve overnight, but emotional detachment. Okay? Emotional detachment. Unfortunately, I didn't have a choice. I had to learn to emotionally detach. Okay? There are many of us that have personal SHTFs. Okay? And we have to adapt. Right? We have to do whatever we can to overcome that particular situation. And in my particular case, it required me to emotionally detach from the situation. Okay? It was the only way I was going to be able to keep that mental preparedness. Right? So, again, number 1, spiritual preparedness. Number 2, mental preparedness. Number 3 is knowledge. I don't know how to say this correctly. You know, you need to be knowledgeably prepared. Okay? Knowledgeably prepared. That means you need to know how to do the things with and preferably without the things. Okay? This is important. This is really, really important because it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what you have in quantity. It doesn't matter what you have in brand name. You are going to have items that you lose. You're going to have items that you break. You're going to have items that you consume. You're just going to have items that are no longer there. Okay? So being knowledgeably prepared to be able to come up with other ideas, other ways, adapt, overcome, improvise, adapt, and overcome. Sorry, I missed the first word. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. Okay? It's a very real thing, but you can't improvise, adapt, and overcome if you don't have the knowledge of how to do so. Okay? So that's very important. Let me run the list again. Number 1, spiritual preparedness. Number 2, mental preparedness. Number 3, knowledge. Whatever. Being knowledgeably prepared. You can't say it the same way. It don't sound right, right? Number 4, physically prepared. Yes, that's the last one. All these people out there running and grabbing toilet paper and acting the fool, right? They're all flipping out and all that because they need their physical preps, right? What happens when those physical preps run out? Right? Now, if you live out in the, near the woods or something like that, and you run out of toilet paper, well, you sure in the hell have a hell of a lot of leaves to choose from, right? You better make damn sure the leaves you choose aren't poison ivy or poison oak or something like that, right? Because, it's not going to be a fun time, okay? So, again, your physical preps is last, and that is why. But it is important, if you can, to have some physical preps. Okay? It will put you ahead of the game. Much, much so ahead of the game. Right? And do what you can. Do what you can. I know the stores are wiped out. I get that. I don't even know where to direct you for certain things. Okay, I have no idea. There are some things that it seems like a unicorn to get right now, like toilet paper. Okay, I do have a funny story along the lines of toilet paper, so I will tell that story. Hopefully it'll lighten the mood a little bit. So I I was, I believe, letting Blue back in, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a vape real quick. Okay, I was letting Blue back in 2 days ago, and so I let her in, and I saw one of the girls that lives upstairs, and I saw her backing in her car. Well, I knew if she was backing her car in, she just got back from the store, right? So, because they never back their car up in unless they go shopping. I notice these things, whatever. And so I knew, she was going to be unloading groceries or whatnot out of the trunk. And so I waited for her. Just to, I like to give people help. And so anyway, she opened her trunk. And it was very apparent when she opened her trunk, she didn't have no big stack of toilet paper back there. So as she's walking up to the steps, I said, where's the toilet paper? And she's like, there is none. And I'm like, it's nuts, isn't it? And we just kind of had some small talk. Well, again, we are on alert status, okay? So that means I've got a radio on me too. And so I had my radio on me. Jen radioed me and told me that FedEx just delivered a package. Okay. So I radioed back, let her know that I copied her message and I would be up shortly. So finished our conversation, walked up, and actually at the time I totally forgot about Jen's order. And when I got outside and I picked up the box, I knew exactly what was inside that box. Jen had went directly to the AngelSoft website and ordered a pack of toilet paper. Now, we don't have a big stock of toilet paper, okay? We've got our normal monthly amount, and then Jen wanted to just throw one more package on it, right? So we aren't toilet paper crazy here. If this thing goes on an extended period of time, I'm going to be out there finding leaves myself, right? Or stealing people's socks. I'm kidding. Your socks are safe with me. But anyway, I could not resist this. I didn't touch the box other than pick it up. I ran back out the back door because I knew she still had some more items to carry up to her apartment. And I said, you want to see something funny? And she's like, what? I popped my knife out, cut the tape on the box, opened it up, and there we go. A pack of toilet paper. So anyway, just kind of a little bit of a funny story. I know I certainly got a hell of a laugh out of it, right? But just relax, folks. Just relax, okay? There are good people out there. And as long as you remain respectful, as long as you do your best to remain patient, this is a big one. If you help out where you can, you're going to have others help out where they can. That's huge. That is huge. I can tell you that right now. I'm willing to do whatever I can to help somebody that I know is helping others, okay? But there are other individuals, right, that wouldn't lift a finger even for their own purposes, right? And I won't give them the time of day. And it's just the way it is. It is just the way it is. So I just wanted to run across that stuff. Let me run through the names of those one more time for those people that are taking notes. That was number 1, spiritual preparedness. Number 2, mental preparedness. Number 3, knowledgeably prepared, or knowledge preparedness, however you want to say it, doesn't sound right. And number 4, lastly, physically prepared. So physical preparedness. So that list will kind of help you keep on track on where you need to be. Now, one more note about the mental preparedness. I know we're pretty well out of time. The crisis is here, but now this may also help you cope with the crisis as well. Books. Go to Amazon. Especially if you e-read, if you've got Kindle or whatnot, this is perfect. There are 3 authors I'm going to give you, okay? Number 1 is A. American, the letter A, American. You're going to look for the Going Home series, right? Let me do this. So I'm going to type in A, American. Oh, they list it as survivalist series. So A American survivalist series. And you're going to look, and Going Home is the very first book. So you can click right there, and you will see all 10 books that are currently available, okay? And I don't believe they're all Kindle Unlimited, but some of them are, I think. Yeah. Not all of them are Kindle Unlimited, but some of them are, like the first one here isn't clearly. But anyway, that is the first one. That will get you started. The name of the book is Going Home. And again, the author is A. American, okay? Cannot recommend these enough. If you want to be mentally forged and ready, these books will do that. All of the books I'm about to tell you will do that. So this is number one on the series to check out. Now, the other author, well, there's two more, but Franklin Horton. And Franklin Horton has two series, okay? One of them is called the Borrowed World series, okay? And hang on here. I'm looking for book one, The Borrowed World. Here we go, but it's not in there. The Borrowed World is the first book, okay? And it is on Kindle Unlimited. So if you've got Kindle Unlimited, here you go. It's on Kindle Unlimited. So The Borrowed World, Franklin Horton, that he's got three series, and I do recommend all three, but two stand above and beyond like you would never believe. And this is one of them. The Borrowed World series, and there is 7 in that series. As you see right here, 7 books in that series. And I don't know which ones are... Ooh, looks like all of them are Kindle Unlimited. So again, if you're a Kindle Unlimited person, you can read these for free, okay? The Borrowed World series by Franklin Horton. He's also got another series, right? Franklin, and this is especially good if you've got a teenager or if you've got a child in college. This is especially good reading. This will just not only help you get mentally prepared, but it will help you get, all these books will help you get knowledgeably prepared massively. These books are just incredible, beyond incredible. I wouldn't be saying this if they're not. And let me tell you something. I am picky. Very picky. Most books from most authors, I don't get past the first chapter. In fact, a lot of times I don't get all the way through the first chapter, right? I just don't. Because once I find something that's out of sync, that isn't right, I'm done. Because if that author can't research enough to make their books realistic, I'm not interested. So I can tell you all 3 authors that I'm referring to are impeccable with their accuracy. Impeccable. Okay? They've really done their homework. So Locker 9 is the other series by Franklin Horton that I would recommend. The first book is under the title of Locker 9. Then Grace Under Fire and Compound Fracture. Okay? Once again, all 3 of these are Kindle Unlimited. So if you're a Kindle Unlimited member, there you go. And then lastly, now he's got another book series called the Mad Mix series. I'm actually working on, book 4, I think it is, of the Mad Mix series. He just released it just shortly, but I don't have time to read it. It's very frustrating, believe me, because I absolutely love reading this guy's books. They're just incredible. And the Mad Mix series is a little bit different. It's not so factually based, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit more fantasy based kind of stuff. And it's based off of the Mad Mix series is actually based off one of the characters in I know he's in the Locker 9 series. I think he's just in the Locker 9 series, but one of the characters that's in the Locker 9 series that is the Mad Mick and so that's a spinoff for a whole nother series. Anyway, finally, lastly, the other author is his name is William Forstchen, and he's got a series called 1 Second After. And William Forstchen is incredibly talented. This used to be, until I read American's books, or Franklin Horton's books, this was my favorite book series, okay? But American and Franklin Horton, honestly, they walk circles around this. They really do. They walk circles around this. However, these are must-reads. Anyway, William Forstchen, 1 Second After is the first book. Technically, the name of the series is a John Matherson, a novel, John Matherson. But you can just look up William Forstchen or 1 Second After, and you're going to find it, right? And the 3 books are 1 Second After, 1 Year After, and The Final Day. So if you really want a head start at being mentally prepared, this is the way to go. And again, it may also help you cope with these times. It may help you if you just try to, in a sense, get your mind away from things, but in the same sense, be educating yourself. I can't see where it would cause any harm. I really can't. So anyway, wanted to throw those out at you. I did make a unnecessary purchase today. I don't normally do this, but when I saw this item advertised on Facebook, yeah, I know, right? But when I saw this advertised on Facebook, I'm telling you, I lost it. I was like, that I've got to have. Now, there is a content creator. It's a business that once in a while creates a little bit of content on YouTube that we thoroughly enjoy here at the Watchman News. Grunt Style. They're awesome, right? And so I'm scrolling through Facebook, minding my own business, and if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you. And anyway, I ran across this sponsored ad for a shirt from Grunt Style. Now, I don't own a single Grunt Style shirt, not one. I've always wanted one or 20, but I never pulled the trigger and got one. Well, when I saw this advertised on Facebook, I'll tell you what, there isn't much other than maybe a death from coronavirus that was going to stop me from getting this shirt. So I introduced to you Grunt Style's "This Is My Quarantine" shirt. So I could not resist, folks. I could not resist. Of course, this shirt, like I believe all of their others, comes with their beer guarantee, which is priceless too. But I'm telling you, I could not. Let me click on that so you can get a little closer picture of it. I could not resist. I absolutely could not resist. So yes, I did place an order for a "This Is My Quarantine" shirt. I could not resist. Man, that's awesome work. So, and they use top quality shirts. They use top quality inks. I mean, they do a really good job on their shirts. I'm not trying to advertise or, I'm just telling you, if you want a good quality shirt that's something a little different than the norm, Grunt Style does a really good job. So anyway, if you're interested, I'm sure it's not going to be something hard to find. Just go to gruntstyle.com and just put in quarantine shirt into the search, and I'm sure you'll find it. So anyway, yeah, I got to have it. I could not resist that. So anyway, we got all that out of the way. We're still alive. Amazing, right? I didn't babble on until the coronavirus killed us all, right? And for those that, please don't take offense when I joke like that, okay? We've got 2 choices in life. We can laugh at things or we can let it destroy us, okay? Don't let it destroy you. This is part of that emotional detachment that I was telling you about. So, if you either have or will lose loved ones or friends, or I hope you love your friends, but if you lose people from this, understand that I'm completely empathetic to that. And I completely understand your loss. And I am truly sorry. Okay? When I say things in jest, that's all they are. And I normally do try to keep them above the board enough to where they don't reach the extremely distasteful level. Okay? On rare occasion, last episode we did, I cut loose with a joke. I think that was Friday. That was really off the chart for what we normally do here. But you know what? So is the situation we're all facing around the world, right? So bear with us while we cope too. Some of us cope a little bit differently. I certainly am not going to let something overwhelm me so that I can't function. Remember, number 2, mental preparedness, right? Let me see here. Oh, wow. Hang on. Oops. I have to get this breaking news out. I mean, it just keeps adding up. And by the way, if anybody's wondering, I did not put out the tweets on Facebook today, just Twitter, because of time constraints. So my apologies for yous over there at Facebook. If you were looking forward to that, as I always advise people, check the Twitter, twitter.com/The Watchman News. I do everything I can to get it out as timely as I can. I failed miserably today. So actually, the last 2 days, I failed miserably. So last minute, I got out the last 2 days of news tweets so that I would have them here for the show. And again, my apologies for that. But how do you get away from what's going on? I'm sure many of you have been kept abreast as to what's happening because there's no way you cannot be other than if you're already down in your bunker and then you're not listening to me. So anyway, wow. Let me have a sip of tea and a vape and... my landlord was here today, and I didn't have him install that brick wall. Damn it. All right. Vapey, 1 second. Yeah. I'm almost out of the last batch of pink Starburst vape juice I made, so I'm going to go to some evil apple juice after this runs out. I've already got some made up. And then I'll probably make up a bunch in bulk so I don't have to last minute kind of do this stuff, right? That's the whole idea of prepping, am I right? So even vape supplies, as you guys well know, I'm probably good for at least 2 years. I'll be in vape supplies. So, and believe me, everybody tells me I suck at impressions. Anyway, those that are local and stuff that vape, believe me, I will be helping out. So know that. I will help wherever I can. That is one area that I can help within reason. I will help where I can help. It's just the nature of the beast, right? Where I can't help, I can't help. Anyway, seems like there was something else. Oh, yes, there is something else. And for those of you that are used to the show, no, I'm not sick. And no, I am not depressed, and I am not having suicidal thoughts. But Trump has shown incredible leadership here in the recent days. Incredible. My hat's off to him. Great job. Truly, I mean that. Great job. Pence, great job. Okay? I really feel like it's important that I make a note of that. That is how impressed I am. Truly. I mean that. I am impressed. Absolutely impressed. The city of Highland, where we reside, incredible work. They put out an announcement earlier today. Incredible. Incredible work they're doing. The businesses, both big and small, pulling together. This is the United States of America. This is what it means to be an American. Okay? So let's remember that. And let's carry that forward. Hey, if the heads of all these major corporations are working together like they are, well, damn, I think we can too. I think we can too. Even nations that normally don't really play nice with one another are working with one another. This is serious. This is not a game. This virus doesn't give a damn where you come from. It doesn't give a damn what color you are, what your political ideologies are. It does not matter. And although the elderly are at much higher risk, along with those that have certain different type of conditions are at much higher risk, okay, it doesn't mean that the young are going to get by unscathed. In fact, I just shared out, he was 21 years old. I can't remember what, I think he was involved in sports or something. It'll be in the headlines. He succumbed to COVID-19. Okay? 21 years old. Athlete. Right? Folks, this does not discriminate. Unlike many, many human beings, this does not discriminate. It doesn't care about conspiracy theories. Doesn't care about any of that. And that is why it is imperative that we do the right thing. You don't have to go anywhere. Stay the hell home. Stay the hell home. Now is not the time to be selfish. Now is not the time to just want to go out. Now is the time to stay the hell home. Look at the circles that this virus has already impacted. Hollyweird? Governments? This thing doesn't care. It doesn't care. Every single one of us is at risk of getting it. And just because you're young and healthy isn't a guarantee. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I've got an unbelievably long list of headlines to read to, and I better get started on it, or else it'll be midnight just before I get done with those. Because, of course, I am going to start with what I shared out on Saturday. Because it's Monday, and we weren't live then. Let me have another vape, because I've earned it, and another sip of tea. A tea first. Hey, when you vape, you got to hydrate. That's a fact. All right. Going to start off with this. Man allegedly shot at Lake St. Louis Walmart employee. He shot at him, didn't shoot him, bad enough, after being angry over the lack of cashiers. Okay? Remember what I talked about at first about why it's not such a great idea to pull something out of somebody's cart because it's something you want that they don't have more of on the shelf? What do you think this cat would have done? What do you think this cat would have done if you stole his teepee for his bunghole? Right? I'm telling you. This is how people act in fear. 2 St. Clair women test presumptive positive for coronavirus, and yes, they did test positive. There is also another one in Clinton County that has been added. So 2 St. Clair County women, St. Clair County, places like Belleville, Illinois, for instance. St. Clair County is about 30 minutes away from us. Clinton County, roughly about the same, 25 minutes or so. Carlisle is the town where the lady from Clinton County had it. Now Breeze, I know Breeze was where one of the two, and Breeze is Clinton County, not St. Clair. I'm pretty positive of that. Yeah, Breeze is Clinton County. So I heard there was one in Carlisle and one in Breeze. That's both Clinton County. Anyway, so I guess there's 4 in our immediate area confirmed positive. So it's here. It's right here where we are. And I guarantee you it's right here in Highland. I guarantee you there are people walking around Highland right now and infected and have no idea. I can guarantee it. I would bet my life on it, right? Because of the incubation period of this particular virus, I guarantee it. There's a whole lot of infected running around right now. We are just about to see the boom. Remember, case, cluster, cluster, boom. Okay? We are just about to see the boom. We are right on that. It hasn't hit yet, but we are right on it. I mean, it's clustered the hell out of the nation, right? But it hasn't quite boomed. We're right on the verge. I think you're going to see that this week across the nation. Let's see. Trump declares national emergency over coronavirus pandemic, unlocking $50 billion in funding. Now, again, this is from Saturday, okay? News from Saturday. Sometimes this is good, too, especially with events like this, because it helps you run back through a timeline of events. Every plague has a silver lining. Trump cashes in on oil price drop with order to fill up U.S. reserves with cheap crude. This could not necessarily be a good thing. I mean, yeah, it's great if you can bargain shop. That's never a bad thing, right? But I have a feeling that they're getting ready. I have a feeling that they're getting ready for a major conflict. And probably a good chance that it has to do with COVID-19. So, end of an era. Bill Gates steps down from Microsoft board. Something I never thought I would see. I have to say, very, very interesting timing. And there's a list going on around, by the way, about all these high-level CEOs and stuff that have resigned over the past month, and it's insane. It is insane. Google it if you want to know. You know, I don't know. List CEOs resign. I guess you'll probably run across one. Free test for everyone. Pelosi announces Democrats reach deal with White House on coronavirus relief. To me, that should be a given, right? Because this is something that we're not going to be able to avoid, okay? This is not something to play games with. This is not something, oh, well, you don't have insurance, so you don't deserve a test. No, folks, this is not the time for that. This is not the time to pick and choose who we think deserves what, okay? It's not. It's not. Not when it comes to that aspect of things, okay? Not when it comes to that aspect of things. The person that sat on their asses and did nothing to get ready, to prepare and all of that, well, you know, what happens or don't happen as far as charity to them is up to those that are around them. Plain and simple, right? That's the nature of the game, right? We don't have millions of dollars, you know? And we took every extra dime we had to put towards prepping. You guys have helped out get items and, you know, massively important things. And you have no idea how grateful that I am. Really no idea. All I can say is this. My God is a wonderful God. For many, many reasons. Definitely one of those reasons It's because he sent me you. And I am very appreciative of it. Every second of every day. Thank you. Let's see. That's how you spread panic. Ohio official backtracks on claim 100,000 people in state already carry coronavirus. I think he was being honest, and I think he was probably relatively accurate, but I think the problem was he caused a lot of alarm, and I think that's why he backtracked. Not because the facts were wrong, but because of the after effect of him saying that. Guatemala bars travel from U.S. and Canada as Washington reluctant to halt deportations despite coronavirus concerns. Pakistan agrees to discuss regional COVID-19 strategy after Modi calls for cooperation, ending 4-year hiatus with South Asian bloc. I told you, there are countries that right now are like, whoa, put down the weapons. We've got to deal with this. Now, if that doesn't tell you how bad this is, there ain't a damn thing that will. You're living under such a shell that there ain't nothing going to crack that. There ain't nothing going to crack that shell. Police in Indian City put on high alert after 5 coronavirus suspects flee hospital, sparking chase. Folks, running away, if you test positive, running away is not going to do anything. Not going to do anything. It'll likely seal your own fate, and unfortunately may seal the fate of many others. Do not run. If you test positive, do what they say. Please. Please. Coronavirus pandemic could cost millions of jobs in travel industry. White House confirms Trump shared table with Brazilian envoy, third official to test positive for coronavirus after U.S. visit. Music is best medicine. Italian musicians join flash mob to cheer up nation amid coronavirus scare. And I hope that we can have some of that kind of spirit happen here. And I think we're going to see it. I do. I think we're going to see it. Rockets hit Iraqi base where U.S. and British soldiers were killed in similar attack this week. Do nothing Mitch McConnell takes flack for keeping Senate in recess after House passes coronavirus aid bill. We're still on Saturday's news, just a reminder. Apple shuts all stores outside Greater China in coronavirus crackdown. Yellow vests defy COVID-19 and lockdown and tear gas, to protest Macron government. So, how's those conspiracy theories going again? That this was all done to stop the protests, right? Maybe some people have common sense and they just quit for a little bit, right? Now, yeah, I don't think they waited long enough to get back out there, but don't expect it to be over, right? Don't expect it to be over there in Europe. Don't expect it to be over in Hong Kong. Don't expect it. They'll be back. They'll be back. Man, I'll tell you what. We haven't seen yet what they've seen over in China and Hong Kong. We haven't seen it yet. So, we can't sit here and say, oh, well, this is what happened. This is what happened. No. I have a feeling what we're about to see is going to be like nothing most of us have ever seen before. And I think it's going to impact us all. And I think it's going to change many, many, many lives, hopefully for the better. Hopefully for the better. Iraqi military confirms attack on Taji base, says it shouldn't be pretext for foreign ops on its soil. Tsunami, earthquake, and COVID-19. India officially gives notified disaster label to coronavirus outbreak. And I thought I saw Steve in the chat a while ago. When we had talked on the phone, I had told you that I was unaware of any cases in India, and it was a mere ignorance on my part. There were cases. There is an outbreak in India. So I just wanted to correct myself per our phone conversation. There are cases in India. Oil price crash. Wow, I can't say it. Oil price crash. I don't know. Why is it the two? I don't know. Anyway, 50% of U.S. shale could go bankrupt. Defeated by COVID-19, NATO's biggest war drill, Defender 2020, is at risk of being sneezed off. U.S. to suspend all travel to the U.K. and Ireland from Monday night due to pandemic. Telling you, a lot of headlines. Trump says he got tested for COVID-19, awaits results as U.S. death toll reaches 50. No, I don't believe he's been tested. And if he was tested, I don't believe if he was positive, you would be told the truth. Okay? Folks, you have to understand. These are world leaders, okay? And they feel, and they may be correct, that if they let on that they were sick, that it would show a weakness, that it might possibly, indicate to another country that if there's turmoil among our government, that it would be a good time, for instance, to invade, okay? So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're wrong, because it makes sense to me. It does make sense to me. So I thought his test came back awful fast, and then at the press conference today, the briefing today when he spoke and the subject came up, he did kind of sputter around it a little bit. I honestly don't believe that either he was tested or that he's being honest. I'm not saying I think he's got it. I don't know at this point. That one briefing that he did, he sounded really short of breath, really bad. But since then, it's not been that way. So what that was that night, maybe he was extremely tired. I have no idea. I'm sure he's extremely tired. I would not want to be filling his shoes right now. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. European airlines facing bloodbath as coronavirus crisis rocks industry. France closes restaurants, clubs, and most shops to battle COVID-19. Berlin shuts museums, bars, and even brothels in tough crackdown on virus spread. Man, really? The brothels? God, you are cruel. Cruel, I say. Spain to enter nationwide lockdown as coronavirus crisis prompts drastic measures. We're still on Saturday, by the way. EuroLeaks former Greek finance minister leaks recordings of secretive Eurogroup talks in fight for democratization of the EU. Nationalized factories and industries, de Blasio kicks panic up to 11, calling coronavirus a warlike situation. Well, he's not wrong. Folks need to stop with their little safety bubble. They need to stop. They need to stop. He was accurate. He was accurate. Cut him some slack. You don't have to like the guy. You don't have to like anything about the guy. You don't have to like the things he's done or not done. But you have to respect the facts. And that's all he did, was give the facts. That's all. Spanish PM's wife tests positive for COVID-19 after Madrid imposes national lockdown to tackle the disease. Inmates in Ohio being released due to concern of coronavirus spread. Expect this. Expect this. Okay? They've done it, I know, in Iran. There was another country, I think it'd be in the headlines, that is talking about it. I can't remember which one. We'll run across it in the headlines. Expect it. State to state to state. Expect it. Expect it. And I don't think they're going to be putting mass murderers and rapists out there on the streets, folks. That's not what this is. You know what? There are far too many people sitting in our jail systems that have no damn business being in our jail systems, right? They're there because it's a for-profit industry, okay? That's why they're there. And they have no damn business being there, okay? So let them go. I'm for that. If they're nonviolent offenders, if they're sitting in jail because of lack of paying child support or because they wrote a check that bounced or some stupid crap, let them go. Let them go. And knock it the hell off. God. Everything is not an opportunity to make money, especially caging people, kidnapping and caging people. That should not be an opportunity for profit. Negative. Trump confirmed not to have coronavirus despite recent contacts with infected Brazilian officials. Let's see. Internet companies won't disconnect people for unpaid bills for 60 days, the FCC says. Oh, by the way, this here was Walmart and their temporary change of hours. I'm sure you probably all heard about that by now. Company policy says they have to be closed by 11 and then they can open back up at 6. Some individual stores are closing like at 10 or a little earlier. But mandatory per Walmart corporate head office that they can be open no longer than 11 and open no sooner than 6. So, let's see. Israel to use anti-terrorism technology to monitor infected citizens as Netanyahu declares war on coronavirus. I'll let you think about that a little bit. Illinois governor. Oh, this is Sunday. This I shared out yesterday. Illinois governor looking hard at closing bars and restaurants. We need to go on lockdown. And by the way, there's updates to that. Remember, this is yesterday's news. Coronavirus HOS law for truck drivers suspended for first time ever. 1938 is when that law was put into effect. 1938, right? And what that law is it sets the amount of hours that a truck driver can haul freight before they have to take a break and rest, okay? Those for individuals carrying supplies in the relief effort are suspended for the first time in 1938, since 1938. That's how serious this is. We're seeing a lot of firsts. I'm sure you know. We hit a historical record today of a 3,000 point loss in a single day on the Dow. It's just insane. Insane. Let's see. U.S. stocks crash as Fed action fails to calm markets. Now, we're going to run into a lot of news that was from yesterday mixed in with today's news, okay? And there's no way without me clicking on it to differentiate when that change is going to make. So I am just going to run through the headlines. So hold on and let's take this ride. Don't be in a rush to die. You'll die anyway. Chechen leader Kadyrov urges public to stop panicking over coronavirus. Long lines beset U.S. airports with passengers reportedly waiting up to 10 hours to get through due to COVID-19 screening. Ukrainian nationalists fire flare gun at Russian embassy in Kiev, threaten to storm diplomatic mission. Saved by the virus, Netanyahu gets 2-month delay on corruption trial amid coronavirus emergency. Oh, would you look at that? UK may pull all citizens over 70 into isolation for months as coronavirus spreads across the country. There's another thing Trump that I applaud Trump for today is, for one, he did indicate the severity of this situation. I think he did a very good job of indicating the severity of it today, to whereas up until today, he pretty much tried to, play the calm factor, so to speak. And I think it's probably his own decision, his own personal decision to be a little more honest. I really do. I think that's his own personal decision, and I support him in it. I applaud him for it. He was honest about that. He did talk about the severity of the situation, and he also, and I'm talking about the virus itself, and he also did indicate that the stock markets are in trouble, and that, it's going to look like a recession. And he indicated that. He kind of tried to work away from talking about it, but he wasn't too shy about indicating the severity of that situation either. So my hat's off to Trump. You did an incredible job today. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Route of first Russian-Turkish patrol along key de-escalation line shortened to prevent terrorist provocation involving civilians. Brasivamo, I know I said it wrong. Watch stranded Spaniards and Italians applaud medics from afar with standing ovations. Right on. And I want to start a trend. At least a temporary trend, if you don't mind. We see veterans and we tell them thank you for your service. We often do that, and I feel it's appropriate. I know there are some veterans that appreciate it. There are other veterans that don't. But it is a common thing for us to do. So if you would, please extend that to our healthcare workers, if you would. Okay? Please, at this time, when you see a healthcare worker, thank them for their service. And I mean that. Thank them for their service, because they are very much putting their lives at risk, right? Just as much as a soldier. So this is a war. Unfortunately, this is a very hard war to fight. This is a nightmare of a war to have to go into. So I'm saying it, and I'm asking you to say it to all the healthcare workers out there. Thank you for your service. Let's see. Nike closes all stores in North America, Western Europe, and Australia, New Zealand due to coronavirus crisis. Netanyahu takes test for coronavirus despite lack of any symptoms amid trial delay uproar. They want to make sure he's tried before he dies or something. Just a question, right? Mandates above all. Macron declares himself guarantor of health and democracy as Paris pushes. It's not very hard to get yourself in trouble with that combination of words. Citizens to vote amid coronavirus. Saudi Aramco reveals whopping 21% profit drop for 2019, even before the latest oil crash and price war. Yeah, how about that? Gas. As far as I know, across the nation for under $2 a gallon. How about that? I mean, it's great for the consumer, not good for the economy. France says border remains open as Germany bars non-essential travel. Trump strongly considering Michael Flynn pardon, points at FBI conveniently losing his records. Would you look at that? Oops, where'd it go? Can't look at it. Kind of like Hillary's emails, right? Utah police departments ask criminals to cease crime until further notice because coronavirus, right? All right. So just quit. Just put the meth down, right? Coronavirus. The meth down. Just say no. Right? It worked real well, didn't it? COVID-19 air travel call. Nordic flag carrier SAS to temporarily lay off 90% of employees as it halts traffic. Just take it easy. Just relax. Trump warns against hoarding over coronavirus as videos of shoppers cleaning out stores goes viral. Now, I can tell you that we're still on yesterday's news because this is what he said yesterday. Persuasion over Illinois orders restaurants. Let me try this again. Persuasion is over. Illinois orders restaurants to turn away dine-in customers as California urges bars to close over COVID-19. And I have to be honest, we did order food today. It has been so hectic. There was no chance in hell I was going to be able to get time to get in there and cook us dinner. No chance at all. And so, we really kind of like Jimmy John's. So we ordered Jimmy John's. And by the way, even in the midst of everything, when I looked it up, it's like, I think it was just right at about 13 minutes. How in the hell? I mean, at lunchtime, we ordered at noon, right? 13 minutes. How do you like that? That's awesome, especially with everything going on. That was incredible. And the driver was wearing gloves. He did have gloves on when he brought our order to us and stuff. So for anybody that might be wondering, does that mean that, we're safe? Absolutely not. It doesn't, just being honest with you. But it's an extra precaution they're taking. I certainly appreciate that extra precaution. But there was something interesting about it that I wanted to share with you. And I don't know this to be fact or anything like that. But, we placed our order, everything. I hit the button to give them a 15% tip, the driver, because, hey, I wished I could even give them more, right? But 15's good. I hit the button for that and everything. Order came up and paid for the order. Later on, went into the back of our PayPal account and noticed that the price was different. Now, I cannot confirm this. I'm not saying that's what this is. It's a question as much as, in a sense, a statement. But they took less than what I showed on my order when I had placed it. And I have a sneaky suspicion that they may have waived the delivery fee. I'm not positive on that, but what they charged us was definitely less than what it said on their website when I placed the order. So just thought that was interesting. Pardon me. Okay. Reluctant to close its borders despite pandemic, Germany to crack down on non-essential travel. What social distancing? Mexican president defies COVID-19 concerns as he embraces and shakes hands with thousands at rallies. What an idiot. Seriously, what an idiot. Top Iranian cleric among those tasked with choosing supreme leader succumbs to coronavirus infection. As I've said, this thing does not discriminate. And somehow it got into some circles that, wow, it's insane. Martial law is coming, ? Washington debunks hoax message about coronavirus telling Americans to stockpile everything in sight. I don't know about this message or whatever, I'd always advise you to prepare, because if you'd have been doing that, you wouldn't have to rush for anything right now. But I'm not coming down on you if you hadn't previously gotten ready. What I will tell you is you don't have to hoard, okay? Don't panic buy. Number one, we need to be thinking about the elderly, right? Seriously. We really need to consider them. Also, relax. We are in some deep doo-doo. I'm not going to lie to you. I am certainly not going to lie to you. But believe me, it doesn't end at panic buying. It doesn't end there. You may think it does, But let's follow this out. Let's follow this. So, panic buying. Especially, let's just use an example of a small town. Okay, we're going to play a little scenario out here. So let's say I went to our local Walmart and I panic bought 20 packages of toilet paper. They just brought the pallet out and set it on the floor. I managed to be able to get 20 of those suckers, right? And load them up on my bicycle because y'all know I don't drive. That ought to be funny, right? 20 packs of toilet paper on a bicycle. Anyway, and let's say I bring that home and live. And, word gets out when they're shopping around, other people trying to shop, and there's no toilet paper. Well, yeah, because at Callahan, he bought 20 packs of it. 20 packs of toilet paper. That tells you just how much of an asshole he really is, right? You know how small towns are. And so next thing you know, people are starting to talk amongst themselves, right? Because they've got dirty asses, right? Or whatever, right? Or they're running low on toilet paper. Yeah, you hear Callahan bought 20 packs of toilet paper. It's only a matter of time before somebody comes knocking on my door. And I'll let you figure out where it goes from there. Either way. Right? So, for many reasons, it's not a good idea to hoard. Okay? Now, when I say hoard, I'm not talking about the cat that's been saving stuff up over a period of several years. And so they've already got 100 packages of toilet paper. I'm not talking about that cat. That cat is not hoarding. That cat is a prepper. Period. He's a prepper. There is a difference. There is a difference between somebody that goes out and panic buys at the last minute and hoards as much as they can, and somebody that's been building up their own stocks over a period of time. Okay? That person, let me tell you the difference. That person that has been building up their stocks over a period of time, because a jealous person, a pissed off person isn't going to see this, and maybe I'll shed a little bit of light on it here. That person that's been stocking up over a period of time is not the person that bought everything out so that you can't have any. It's not the person that's trying to buy up as much as they can right now, regardless of whether you do or don't get any for yourself. That person who took the time and money over a period of time to build their supplies is not trying to get one on anybody. They're just trying to survive. So there is a difference between somebody that goes in a panic and tries to buy up as much as they can and somebody that happens to be sitting on a stockpile because they built it up over a period of time. There's a stark difference in between the two. Anyway, Germany introduces border checks with 5 countries over coronavirus, still keeps broad-scale exemptions. A coronavirus situation in France extremely worrying and getting worse rapidly, says top health official warns. Russia to launch $4 billion anti-crisis fund to stabilize economy. France hits Apple with record €1.1 billion fine for monopoly practices. Wow. Ryanair to ground majority of its European fleet over the next 10 days. Complete cuts can't be ruled out. Fiat Chrysler halts auto production across most of Europe. TikTok users kicks off stomach-churning coronavirus challenge by licking toilet seat on plane in new low for COVID-19 hype. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Patient escapes from Moscow coronavirus hospital. Chief doctor slams ignorant behavior. I agree. Very ignorant and careless behavior. You have another drink, another vape. 1 second. I told you, ton of headlines. I was not kidding. I don't think I've ever had a monologue go this long. I don't think Fridays was this long. I could be wrong. Look, I rhymed. I do it all the time. Let's see. I know I'm corny. Why Jen loves me. Global stock markets plunge. Huh. The look I'm getting indicates that I was incorrect. Global stock markets plunged despite drastic action by governments as the frog comes flying out of my throat, as coronavirus paralysis, paralysis, huh? Paralysis, isn't that paralysis? Paralysis. Right there. It's a word. Paralysis. Economies. Oh no, it's paralyzes, ain't it? I'm the idiot. Imagine that, right? Let me try that again. Global stock markets plunge. I'm an idiot. Despite drastic action by governments as coronavirus paralyzes economies. Or paralysis if you're an idiot. Oil prices tanked to 4-year low. U.S. crude falls below $30 a barrel. U.S. Health and Human Services faces cyber attack during coronavirus response, says reports. Ain't that crazy? Not with a bang, but with a twerk? Huh? Netizens dumbfounded as partygoers ignore coronavirus social distancing, please. Please, no twerking. Right? Please. If you're twerking, man, it better be because of seizures, right? Gold price drops as investors hunt for cash to cover market losses. U.S. stocks crash as Fed action fails to calm market panic. COVID-19 vaccine difficult, uncertain, and far off, says a microbiologist. European Space Agency's Kourou spaceport suspends launches over coronavirus pandemic. Man. European solidarity doesn't exist. Only China can help us. Serbia goes full emergency over coronavirus. U.S. will act in self-defense if attacked in Iraq, says Pompeo. Can you imagine the artificial intelligence that's going to be going over my content? All the coronavirus. It's like going to be ding, 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 right? Good thing I don't even try to monetize videos. Casinos, gyms, movie theaters to close as New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut ban 50-plus people gatherings due to coronavirus fears. Oh, and I missed this headline. My apologies. Big headline. U.S. will act in self-defense if attacked in Iraq, says Pompeo. European Commission suggests restricting all non-essential travel to EU for 30 days over coronavirus. Ding! Coronavirus, ding! Kills 7 in New York State. 950 tests positive, says the governor. Constitutional Court approves amendments resetting presidential term limits. Poll says majority would vote for Putin in 2024. Could you imagine the drinking game it would be to have to take a shot every time I said coronavirus during this monologue? Spain and Portugal increase border controls to slow coronavirus spread. Ding! COVID-19 is defining global health crisis of our time. WHO warns as more deaths and cases reported in the rest of the world than in China. Las Vegas NFL draft extravaganza in Las Vegas canceled due to coronavirus as NFL plans strip down alternatives. So, I know it's sports, but it's related. The reason I shared like this particular one is because it does indeed indicate the severity of the situation. Coronavirus, ding, just got real in Moscow. Outdoor events banned, schools closed, indoor crowds restricted. Tragic consequences. 21-year-old Spanish football coach dies of coronavirus. Ding. Yeah, this is the one. He was a coach. Sorry, he wasn't a player, but still, I'm sure he was still in relatively. Oh wait, no, it says he suffered from leukemia. I didn't read the article, so you all can yell at me for that. Seriously, because I normally don't do that, folks. It's been hell keeping up. Okay, so my apologies for that. Apparently, he was suffering from leukemia. So he was compromised. So my apologies for making it sound like he was healthy. I made an assumption and I was incorrect, and I apologize for that. I didn't read the article. I didn't have time, to be honest. But I just saw it down in here. I saw the word leukemia, and I thought, uh-oh. So, again, my apologies. India closes Taj Mahal, other monuments over coronavirus till the end of the month. Coronavirus chaos spares no one as sports stars, politicians, and Hollywood A-listers are infected. That's what I'm saying. This is incredible. Canada is closed. Prime Minister Trudeau locks down country to foreign citizens except U.S. nationals over coronavirus. Pompeo tells China to quit spreading outlandish rumors and blaming U.S. for COVID-19 pandemic. Russia to ban entry for foreign nationals until May. Government press says the government press service. We are in a health war. France severely limits movements for 2 weeks. Cancels municipal elections. Wow, huh? Dow plunges 3,000 points and biggest single drop a day. That's just shocking to me. Shocking. Trump urges no gatherings of 10 or more people, says peak of coronavirus could carry into July or August. Let me say that again. This is coming from President Trump. Okay? Straight from him. He's not bullshitting you now. He's not bullshitting you now. And you have to make a choice, especially if you've been a long-time Trump supporter. As you know, I'm not. It's not because I'm liberal or not. No, it's because, for one, I want to be emotionally detached, okay? Which means I can't pick a side, okay? And, I'm supposed to be critical. We are all supposed to be critical. That's part of your job as a patriot, is to be critical of your government, okay? So, we are reaching a point now to where those that were running around saying, oh, it's just the flu, or oh, it's just a hoax, now they're going to have to make a decision, right? Do they trust the guy that they put in office or not? It's up to them. I do trust that what he's saying is accurate, and I am also pretty certain that he's withholding a whole hell of a lot. Okay? So with that understanding that he's likely withholding a whole hell of a lot, again, I will repeat that President Trump says that the peak of coronavirus could carry into July or August. Now, I don't know if you've been paying attention or not, but it's February, or March. Obviously, I haven't, right? It's March. All right? And he's saying it could carry over into July or August. That's crazy. That's crazy. Very existence of many pubs under threat as Prime Minister Johnson urges Britons to cut non-essential social contact. And lastly here, and this is, wow, and I expect you're going to see something similar happen here. Stay home. France mobilizes 100,000 police to enforce coronavirus lockdown. And I expect you're going to see, this with law enforcement. The National Guard, I believe, is going to play a part. And if they need to, I would bet that they'll call in the U.S. military. They're gonna do whatever they have to do to keep the country safe. And normally, and even in this event, I would tell you to be mindful. Be watchful. Right? Understand what we're dealing with here and make an informed, mature, responsible decision as to whether or not the government's stepping beyond an acceptable line. For instance, staying home makes sense. Social isolation will help flatten the curve. Okay? Handing over your guns will not flatten the curve. Okay? So use your head. Use your head. Do the mature, responsible things. Right? But damn well show them why we have the Second Amendment if they try taking it from you. Anyway, I suspect you're going to see a lot of the same. I am ready to wrap up this monologue. I don't know about you, but geesh. Anyway, wow, hell of a monologue. For those here for the live show, stick around. We'll be live until 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. For those just here for the monologue, or if you're watching the recording later on, thank you very much. As always, God bless you. We love you, and be one with your spirit.